In humanity's journey to discover planet Earth, it was easy to observe the highest peaks above sea level, such as Mount Everest at 8,848 meters high. However, discovering the deepest point on Earth was never easy. While thousands have climbed Mount Everest and reached its summit, only a limited number of people have descended to the deepest point on Earth in the Mariana Trench. The trench is a V-shaped depression in the ocean floor located in the western Pacific Ocean near the Mariana Islands. To reach the deepest point in the trench from the surface, one would need to descend 11 kilometers. To grasp how terrifying this number is, imagine submerging Mount Everest into the trench. The mountain would completely disappear in the ocean, leaving over 2 kilometers of water above it to the surface. For many decades, it was believed that it was impossible for anyone to reach such depths, let alone for any marine life to exist there. But the information revealed by the Mariana Trench completely changed humanity's concept of ocean depths. Welcome to Feral Finds, where truth meets mystery and reality intertwines with fantasy. In this episode, we will discuss the deepest place on Earth, the Mariana Trench. Before we begin, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive all new updates. In a journey to study the oceans and explore their depths, the British research ship HMS Challenger embarked on an exploratory mission that lasted 4 years, from 1872 to 1876. The ship traveled a distance of 112,000 kilometers, and the method used to measure depths was for the ship's crew to use very long ropes marked for measuring length, with a large metal piece attached to the end. Every 225 kilometers, the crew would throw the rope into the water and let the metal sink to the bottom, determining the depth of the location by the markings on the rope. Despite the difficulty of this task, it was the only way at the time to measure ocean depths. When the ship reached the western Pacific Ocean near the Mariana Islands, the crew and the world were astonished by a unique surprise. The crew let the rope down, and it continued descending into the water for a very long distance, without the metal piece hitting anything, unlike all the areas the ship had traversed during its journey. After the rope reached a length of 8,000 meters in the water, the metal finally hit the bottom. At that time, no one in the world imagined that the ocean could reach such enormous depths, driving scientists crazy with questions about the nature of the place, how it was formed, whether it was a small hole in the ocean floor or a huge one, and whether there were any marine creatures living at that depth, and if so, whether they were ordinary creatures or legendary monsters with different compositions that allowed them to withstand the extreme pressure and darkness. Answering any of these questions was challenging with the tools and technology available at the time. The exploratory mission of HMS Challenger is considered the beginning of modern oceanography and the first glimpse into horizons that were beyond the world's perspective. This mission was able to provide the first real map of the depths, revealing to the world the existence of steep declines in the ocean floor, forming depressions that extend for hundreds of meters before ending in flat land. However, the strange thing in the western Pacific near the Mariana Islands is that after these declines, instead of ending in flat land, they drop again into a deep hole reaching 8,000 meters from the water's surface. This discovery completely changed humanity's thinking about the ocean depths. Moreover, this discovery opened the door to the possibility of life existing at such depths, despite the idea being considered impossible at the time. After 75 years, answers about the nature of the place began to emerge. In 1951, a British research ship returned to the hole, but this time equipped with more advanced tools for measuring depths, including sonar technology. The results were astonishing, revealing that the hole in the ocean floor was not just a hole, but part of a giant trench extending 2,550 kilometers in length and 69 kilometers in width. They also discovered that the depth reached by the Challenger ship initially determined to be 8,000 meters, was not the final depth. At the southern end of the trench, there was a further drop of 3 kilometers, making it the deepest point in the trench and the deepest point on Earth, named Challenger Deep, in honor of the ship that discovered it. Despite the significant information gathered by the ship, there were still questions it could not answer, the most important being: is there any form of life at this depth? The first glimpse of an answer came from the Soviet ship Vityaz, which in 1958 revealed the presence of large numbers of marine creatures at depths exceeding 7,000 meters, including various types of bacteria and invertebrates, as well as numerous fish and strange creatures unknown to humanity at the time, famously dubbed sea monsters. Scientists were not satisfied with these results and decided to attempt descending themselves into the trench to obtain a more accurate picture. However, reaching the deepest point on Earth is thousands of times more challenging than climbing the highest point, due to the extreme pressure encountered at such depths, more than 1,000 times the pressure on the surface. In 1960, the first humans successfully descended into the trench in an exploratory mission to the deepest point on Earth using the deep-diving submersible Trieste, a vehicle capable of withstanding high pressure and diving to great depths. On board the submersible was Swiss scientist Jacques Piccard, who helped his father Auguste Piccard design the vehicle used for the mission, along with his American colleague Don Walsh. After descending 11 kilometers in approximately 5 hours, the submersible reached the bottom. The researchers spent about 20 minutes at the deepest point on Earth. Despite the short duration, it was enough to confirm the presence of marine life, fish, and strange creatures living without any struggle in the extraordinary environmental conditions. This was not the only discovery of the expedition. Years after the mission, the records of Swiss scientist Jacques Piccard about the mission were revealed, which included the discovery of a massive cylindrical creature following the submersible and moving around it, as if observing them, but disappearing shortly after. This led some to speculate that it might be an unknown aquatic civilization, similar to Aquaman. The wonders of the trench resurfaced in 1985 with an incident involving the American ship Glomar Challenger. During the use of a probe in the ocean, researchers were surprised by strange sounds being recorded, while the steel cables connected to the device began to tighten and pull hard, as if something alive at a depth of 10,000 meters was attacking the probe. The researchers hurried to retrieve the device to the surface, but it refused to move, as if prevented by a force. After 3 hours, they finally managed to pull the probe to the surface, only to find bite marks on the device, indicating it had been in the jaws of a sea monster, along with some severed steel cables. To contain the panic among the ship's crew, the official announcement attributed the incident to the device colliding with the surrounding mountains of the trench. However, everyone on the ship at the time was convinced this was not the real reason, especially with the clear bite marks on the device. Subsequently, a bizarre theory was proposed by some biologists, suggesting that the only creature capable of causing such damage is the megalodon shark. The megalodon is a giant extinct shark species, reaching lengths of 22 meters, equivalent to the height of a 7-story building, and weighing 45 tons. It is considered one of the largest and most powerful predators ever, believed to have gone extinct over 1.5 million years ago. The idea proposed by biologists was based on the discovery of a giant tooth the size of an adult human hand, which, after examinations, was confirmed to belong to the megalodon. Hence, the hypothesis of its existence today, but hidden from human sight by living in the depths, emerged. Additionally, a few years after the incident, a Japanese cargo ship near the Mariana Trench experienced a severe collision from the side, causing it to capsize easily in the water. The weather conditions were stable, and there were no rocky barriers in the area where the incident occurred. Whether you believe in the existence of extinct animals living in the trench or not, this does not negate the presence of strange marine creatures at this depth, capable of living under the high pressure and absolute darkness characteristic of this depth. This was confirmed by the Japanese remote-controlled submersible Kaiko, which, during its mission from 1995 to 2003, discovered more than 350 species of marine creatures. In March 2012, Canadian filmmaker James Cameron became the second person to reach the deepest point on Earth in a deep-sea submersible he helped design, showcasing his journey in the documentary Deep Sea Challenge. Finally, we arrive at the last point about the Mariana Trench. Its formation, which fundamentally depends on the coincidence of the trench's location with subduction zones, where tectonic plates collide with each other. To simplify, the Earth's crust is composed of plates called tectonic plates, beneath which are pliable rocks due to high pressure and temperature. These plates move very slowly on the pliable rocks at rates ranging from millimeters to centimeters per year. When two plates converge, the denser plate sinks below, partially melting due to the high temperatures in the Earth's interior. This results in trenches along the subduction zone between the two plates. Over the past 50 million years, the Pacific Ocean plate has slid beneath the Philippine plate, leading to the formation of the Mariana Trench. But why is it the deepest trench in the world? Scientists have discovered a strong connection between the age of oceanic crust and its depth, meaning that the older it is, the deeper it is in the ocean. After obtaining samples from the Mariana Trench's oceanic crust, scientists found it to be extremely old, between 180 to 200 million years, older than any other oceanic crust. At the end of the episode, our planet still holds many surprises, and mysteries will continue to captivate humanity. No matter how many times people go there, what has been discovered so far about the Mariana Trench is only the beginning, as the deepest point on Earth will always hold strange and fascinating secrets. Thank you for watching. We hope you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all our new content.